Hi, you guys. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I am joining you from outside again, so just be aware that there will be some outside noises. Right now, I think my neighbor's pool cleaner is gurgling, so if you hear some crazy noises like dogs and planes and things like that, just remember I'm outside, but it is well worth the landscape. Doesn't that look like fake? It looks fake, but that's real. Those are my real palm trees and actually my neighbor's palm trees and the beautiful blue sky behind me. So let's give glory to God for that, because we know that the Bible says heavens declare the glory of God, right? So anything we see looking up, and there's one of those planes already. So today is a great devotional, you guys. Again, he showed up big time, and it's a perfect lesson in yesterday. I received a bunch of prophetic things yesterday, and I thought they were all going to connect to one word, and I'm finding that I have three different words today. So the first prophetic word I'm going to share has to do with the license plate I got yesterday as well, which I did share the license plate from last night's message with Me by the Fire about joy, and how there are going to be tears that were always feeling like they were from suffering turning to joy. And I got that license plate yesterday that said joy. But what you don't know is I also got several others back to back to back on my errands that I was running yesterday. And one of them is going to tie into our devotional today, and it's going to bless you. And it connects to the message last night, which is an encouraging one. I do have a word coming out about the judgment falling out on the earth as well, because we know we are in those times. I do believe today also, I'm not sure if it's already passed, forgive me, but I do know that we have a blood moon today, and I think it's already passed. Forgive me again, I'm not sure. I was sound asleep on my day off. But it is funny because I took a wrong turn also on a street yesterday, and the street name was Red Moon. And actually, I might even drive by it again today just to get a picture of it, because at the time I didn't know what it meant, and it was yesterday, and today we are set to have a blood moon. So guys, look into that too. There's a lot that has to do with what's going on with the Jewish calendar right now, and just a lot of things biblically that the Lord is saying. And there's two scriptures that you can refer to as well. Joel 2:31, which is the sun will be turned to darkness and the moon into blood before the awesome day of the Lord. And remember, guys, the awesome day of the Lord, a lot of people think it's going to be awesome. Well, of course it is, because everything God does is awesome. But God's awesome can be two things. It can be, huge blessings and amazing things, which at the end of the day, everything God does is a blessing, because it's all leading to the return of Christ, right? But the awesome day in the Lord is always referred to in the Old Testament as basically His vengeance, His judgment, right? So the awesome day of the Lord can mean many things, but just do your own research. Again, don't butcher me in the comment section. I am not a theologian, but do your own research. And then Revelation 6:12 also speaks of the blood moon as well. So those are just two little scriptures that you can refer to. But today's devotion is awesome. It's an encouraging one, and I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into it. So it says, above all else, I realize that you are in need, hoping against hope. Isn't that what it feels like? It's like we're so scared of getting our hopes up again that we are trying to hope that we don't have hope, right? Hoping against hope. Like, I want to believe, Lord, just like the Shunammite woman, but I've had deferred hope so much that I'm more scared to hope. So you're almost hoping against having hope. It's not a place that the Father wants us, okay? So let me bless you with this message through Him. Him bless you through me from Him. Okay, uncertain if I hear your prayers, you're hoping against hope. Unable to hear my voice and questioning my presence. That's the pool cleaner, guys, that you can hear. So you feel you're unable to hear my voice and questioning my presence. But I'm asking you to maintain a confident faith that keeps you looking to me. I know that faith is not easy. He understands that. What an amazing God that He comes down to our level and says, I understand that faith is not easy, because for Him, everything is easy. Just like the wind blowing through my hair right now, it takes nothing for Him to do that. He controls all the elements, right? But He knows for us that it's not easy, okay? But it keeps you looking at me. I know it's not easy, but when your faith is failing, it is my word that will give you the strength to keep believing. I know it is the waiting that compounds the difficulty of faith, but it is in my delays that you will discover I am drawing you near. Again, it's all about the relationship to Him. He doesn't want to give us anything that's going to take the place of Him. So if He feels like giving us something that might bless us too early, makes Him go back into the back seat, guys, He has every right to hold off on that, because he's doing a work in us. He's doing a work in us for the purposes of his kingdom. It's not about our promises. It's about what the promise keeper's will is, what the Lord's will is. And the will is that people don't perish, right? So he's using us. He doesn't want anything to be wasted, because he will not let anything be wasted. That's why he takes beauty from ashes, because even ashes, which are the last, I hear you, the last remaining thing when something is burned to the ground, he even takes those and he makes them beautiful. He makes something beautiful. Literally my husband's ashes are now unfolding in a legacy of my first book that's coming out this year. So he took those ashes as well, and he's going to take yours, because he cannot waste anything and still be God, okay? But it's in my delays that you will discover I'm drawing you near, preparing your heart for answered prayer, teaching you to trust me to a greater degree. It isn't easy when I don't answer you in the ways you hoped I would. For instance, like me when my husband died. It was definitely not what I was hoping for or what I felt I heard. But I will tell you guys, 5 years out, and with 2 more books coming out after this first one that will come out, I will tell you he did not lie. And sorry, I'm hearing him right now. He did not lie. And it may not be the way you think, but it'll always be what he said. Let me clarify. Meaning, we hear God right, but we don't always know what he means. But I can promise you, when he makes it make sense, it's going to be better. And I do believe we're about to reach that part of the devotional where it talks about that. So let me finish. I am drawing you near, preparing your heart for answered prayer. So when he's preparing our hearts, that means he's turning us into the transformed version that looks more like him, that's prepared for the answer. Trust me, when you get it, you will be the person that was meant to receive it, and that person will be so glad that the Lord waited to give it to you, okay? It isn't easy when I don't answer in the ways you hope for, but remember that my ways are not your ways. Isaiah 55 tells us this, because I see into eternity. My ways are better, is what he's saying. And they are, you guys. There were times in my life where I never thought I'd see any reason to smile, any reason to laugh, and he's given me many reasons to do all those things since the day my husband passed away. And it wasn't easy. And grief is a definitely a unique thing to each person. Grief comes and goes. Ooh, I love that wind. And everybody's process is different. So have patience for grief, you guys. And grief comes not just from the death of a loved one. It comes from grieving traumas that have happened to you, the stripping of things in your life, the discovering of your identity, things like that. Sorry guys, something just dropped on the ground, and so I'm like making sure I'm not missing some kind of prophetic sign. But remember, his ways are better. So when you think you haven't heard him right, it's not that you didn't hear him right. He's just going to tell you in time what he meant. You're never wrong in what you heard, as long as you're seeking the Lord and you've taken willful sin out of your life and you're living a life for him. You won't be wrong about what you heard. You just have to wait for him to show you what it meant. And what it meant will always be better than what you think you heard, okay? And it could just be that you heard him completely right. Everybody's journey is different, but I promise you this, he doesn't lie, and you didn't hear him wrong if you are aligned with him, okay? You're just going to have to trust me on that. That's what this says. When you are questioning me, you must examine your heart and ask if there's anything that is separating you from me. So that could be sin, that could be lack to surrender to his will, meaning you're idolizing something, a person, a place, a thing. It could mean that you can't let go of the past, or you haven't forgiven something. These are all potential delays or hindrances between us and God, okay? Which in turn is the promise keeper, and he delivers the promise. But it could also be that you're not pursuing, and this is not a condemnation. This is just that I've been taken through this, where you're pursuing the promise over the promise keeper. And remember, the relationship with him is the prize. I am never off my throne. I am always in control, and hope is in me. What I will give you is immeasurably above all that you could dare to hope for or imagine. We know that's Ephesians 3:20. Put your hope in the Lord, Psalm 37:34. And guys, here's the cool kicker. So this devotional is called Above All Else, right? And I'm going to put it up for you. And so I want you to hold this devotional tight today. And yesterday, when I was driving, I told you he was inundating me. And he's like, I thought all of these license plates were going to be for one word, one big prophetic word. But this just goes to show you have to wait and sit at the Lord's feet for him to show you what it means, okay? So this devotional today was called Above All Else. And the plate I got yesterday says all. And the really cool thing about this, you guys, is I've gotten this plate before. About a year and a half ago, I did a prophetic word. I think it was a lyrical I don't remember it. I'll have to see if I can bring it up. But today he wanted us to know that it has to do with this devotional, which means above all else. So keep this devotional today, read it throughout the day or any day to keep encouraging you. But he wants us to know above all else, trust him. You could trust him with everything, your entire life, your soul, your being, and everything, person, place, or thing that he has spoken to you. He will make it make sense.